Okay. Today is the day that we clean out. I always do it about halfway through the season. Then again at the end of the season, we clean out the chimney. And got some water in there. We have a wood burning stove that we use in here, and that is our primary source of heat. And then we have central heat, which is so expensive to run, as y'all know. Electricity prices going up. It's an electric furnace, so we use the wood burning for our primary source of heat. We don't keep it hot in here. This is an old farmhouse. It's just as airtight as a cheese grater. So we burn some wood, and it's not always at optimum temperatures. So I know we get some creosote. We want to be safe about it. So I keep it cleaned out. Like I said, about mid through the year, I'll clean it out, and then I'll clean it out again at the end of the year. So all that creosote out of there. You know, I burn those creosote logs. They seem to kind of loosen it up, but they don't get rid of it. So, and if you're not comfortable with this, or you have a more complicated system, by all means, hire a chimney sweep if you need to. Okay, that's very important to hire somebody. Mine just so happens is stovepipe. Mine just so happens to be stovepipe on the inside, so I'm able to take it apart and inspect it. I can see up here, I can see through there. I'll be able to see the creosote, so I feel comfortable knowing that I can get it out. If you can't, or you don't have the ability, by all means, hire a chimney sweep. See, things have stopped falling out. I'll take a look up there and see what we see. Pretty clear. Now I'll put this back. This happens to be a through the wall kit that I got from, I think, Lowe's or Tractor Supply some years ago. And it's worked for us. That's 2 sections of insulated pipe. Now, when I originally put this in, I put 1 section of insulated pipe, and I had so many problems. When the wind would blow, everything would come back. When I was getting my fire started, smoke would come back in the house. Everybody kept telling me, your stack's not tall enough, you don't have a good draft. I added that other stack, made all the difference in the world. So, they have those standards for a reason. You might want to use them if you ever put a system like this in. Also, you may want to, if you need to, get professional help. This is just what I did, what worked for me. Okay? But hey, if this is content that you like, that you can use, hit that like button, that subscribe button. Let's have a conversation. Let's make a community. Let's help each other out. Share advice, share experiences. Because you may not know how, or you may not know what works, but you might know what didn't work, and that'll help somebody out. So, like I said, if you get the opportunity, comment on down below. Let's have a conversation. We're going to do the inside now and take it apart, take it outside, make a big mess inside the house is typically what happens, and then we'll put it all back together. But we got to be safe. Hello everybody. We're going to finish up, we started this outside, and we're going to finish up cleaning the chimney on the inside, or our stovepipe. There's one thing I wanted to share with you. That's one thing I love about some of these homestead channels, is we talk about things that we found that kind of help us all out. This is my dusty, but very efficient and effective fan. Now this unit, this fireplace unit, has a built-in electric fan, which we do not even use anymore. It was noisy. I mean, noisy, you couldn't hear the TV. This fan, you set on top here, many of y'all may be familiar with it. You set it on top here, it's heat activated. It doesn't take any batteries, no cord, no electricity at all. You set it on there and it runs off the heat. Now, this is not a very big blade. You're not going to feel a bunch of wind coming off of it. It doesn't move a great amount of air, but it does move enough air. Because what it does is it draws, as it spins, it draws heat through it. I set it in front of the stovepipe and on top of this, so it'll draw the heat from around the stovepipe, or the air from around the stovepipe through this fan, and it'll push it out into the room. You can definitely tell a difference in when you don't use it. I don't like to run the ceiling fan when we're running the heater. I can, and I do sometimes, but it just moves so much air, and this just seems to do a great job. So y'all may want to check it out. There's some other ones, you can see them online. There's a lot of people that review them. I just had great luck with this one. I bought this one on Amazon. It's called a heat-powered stove fan. Again, I got this on Amazon. I don't remember how much it cost, somewhere between $30 and $50. Very happy with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this apart and we're going to take it outside and clean it, and then we'll put it back together again. It's also a good time to inspect the pipe when you take it apart. You're looking for pinholes, any kind of holes that's going to allow the smoke to get into your house. Okay, this needs to stay sealed. Okay, I see we've got a little bit of rust here. That's something we'll pay attention to, and see if we need to replace this stovepipe. More than likely, I'm going to leave this for this season, and I'll probably replace it at the end of this season when I take it apart to clean it again at the end of the season, which will be probably around April or March, late March, April, maybe May. I'll take this apart and clean it. I'll probably replace it at that time, but we'll see. So one of the things I use is a rubber mallet. Let me grab that. That really helps me out, makes things a lot easier. And this is not difficult, but as I said before, it is very messy. So what we'll do is we'll take this, I'll try to take it all as one unit and get it out the door. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, you see we've got it as one unit, hit it out the door. Okay, now what we'll be doing is we'll run a brush up through there so that we can get that cleaned out. See if we can give you a good view of that. You can see that buildup in there. That's all creosote. We're going to get that out of there. Probably end up putting it all over the floor. But you know, it is what it is. You see that, all that right there? We're going to get all that out of there. That's all creosote, and a lot of that comes from not burning at the right temperature or not burning the right wood. And that's why we clean it out. Because we don't always achieve the right temperatures and we don't always have the right wood. And as you see, we have the same thing in some of these parts here. So we're going to brush them out with the chimney brush. and get them all clean. Now sometimes I'll straighten these out, but they're kind of a pain. The older they get, the less they want to cooperate. They're kind of a pain to get. So I'll just take and run this brush through these 90s until we get it all cleaned out. And get it all put back together again. These straight pipe. Y'all see all that coming out of there? That's cleaned that up pretty good. One of the things I'll do, may not be right, may not even be necessary, but makes me feel better before I put this in. I'll take my propane torch and I'll burn these out from the inside to make sure that if there's any creosote that is going to catch on fire, I'd much rather do it here than in there. And that just gives me a peace of mind. So we'll get these cleaned up and we'll get back here. Okay, I'm going to show you how I burn this out. And got a little propane weed burner. Usually does pretty good. Taking this burn this, because what I want to do is if there happens to be some creosote in there, so you've got some flame going on in there, I want to burn that out right here. One thing is, once you burn it, it's not going to burn twice. See? I'm going to show y'all what I'm talking about. We can manipulate this. You see that? That's a chimney fire right there. That's a chimney fire. Right there. That's a chimney fire. We don't want that. What I'll do is I'll go back in there, brush that out again, make that safe. For those of y'all that have some questions. Ask me if I can answer them, I'll try. This works for me. I'm not telling you this is the right way to do it, but this works for me. Now, same thing, I've got one of these elbows, this turning. Got just a little bit of flamage, not a lot. But you know, when you've got a draft going through there and this catches on fire, well, now you've got air mixed in with it, and that can create a lot of problems. Next thing you know, you've got the fire department over there trying to put your house out, or taking your chimney or your ceiling apart. I'm pretty sure that's not what anybody wants. So, like I said, I'd much rather it catch on fire here and now than in there. Now I'll show y'all in a minute. I keep something always handy, especially during this time of year when we're using the wood burning stove. And it's a stick that is there. If you do have a chimney fire, you know, they tell you close your flute. That stops the air from, it stops the draft. And then if you need to, call the fire department, whatever you need to do. You know, I'm not going to tell you what to do because I'm not in your facility. I'm not there. Now, I was a firefighter for a number of years. I also did it in the Navy. I will tell you that by the time you realize it's happening, it's too late. It's already happened. I will also tell you, do not try to fight a house fire. You will not win that fight. And they will spread a lot faster than you realize. Get your family, get out, call 911. But I keep, and I'll show them to you here in a minute, I keep these little deals. If you have a chimney fire, you take one of these and you put it inside the stove or the fireplace, and it breaks the fire triangle. Okay, it disrupts the chemical makeup of fire, breaks the fire triangle. Does that mean that you don't need to still call the fire department? I would go ahead and call them. They're not going to charge you anything, and even if they did, what's the price of a peace of mind and of safety? So those are things that you can't take for granted, you can't take lightly. So we burned this out pretty good. Looks like we only had just a little bit at that other end that needed to, that I didn't get out good enough. So what we'll do now is we'll let that set. And cool off. I'm gonna take and brush it out real quick. We'll cool it off before we put it back. Using a hand brush, get these little areas of it. You're never going to get this spotless. At least I've never gotten it spotless. But you want to get as much of the loose flaky out as you can. You can see in there, that's not too bad. And I'll run the torch back through there again, just to make sure. Just as a precaution, we'll run the torch back through there again because we don't want any kind of mishaps. It's pretty thin metal. It'll heat up, but it'll cool off pretty quick as well. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean that out. There's a cap that I showed you earlier. I've taken that out, so when I go that way, it'll dump out on the ground. Unfortunately, when I pull it back, it's going to come in here and there's not really much I can do about it. See what I mean? If you've got any suggestions on how I can catch all that, leave in the comments below. Any ideas? Some of y'all that do this regularly, maybe do it for a living. Share with us how you do this. Now I've cleaned that out. I can see that it's nice and shiny in there. Now I'll start looking at inside here, the damper, clean that off. You can see this is the damper here. You can kind of see down in there. I'll take this out. I'll take a brush, clean that out, and vacuum it up. Okay, when you take this damper off, a lot of people look at it and go, I don't know how to take it off. So you can see right here, it's got a little bend in it. You'll take and push this in, turn it, and then it comes right out. Okay, then it comes out. You can see I need to clean this off. I'll clean that. I'll vacuum out in there. Kind of vacuum up as much as I can, and then we'll put everything back together again. This is a temperature gauge. It came when we bought that. This actually, wipe the dust off of it, tell you, hey, you're making creosote in this area. This is the best time or your best temperatures. And this, you're starting to get too hot. You need to back off putting wood on there or whatever. Like I said, I'm going to clean this up best I can, clean that up. And then we'll come back. I'll show you when I put this back in, and we'll put it all back together again. There it is. You see, I forgot to turn the camera on when I was putting it back together, but I put it back together. I'll put this back on there. This goes right in front here. And what I did, you have to make sure that all these crimps, remember, it flows up, okay? It's just like a muffler, the way, or a hose or anything. It flows out the male, okay? These little crimp parts, that's the male that goes inside of the non-crimped. Goes in, make sure that everything is in there. And over here, where it stubs out of the wall, I made sure that everything was in there, got it set in there, and I kind of tapped it in so that it was set in place. And as you see, you know, as long as nobody comes wrestling across here, like in the old westerns, they hit the stovepipe and falls apart. Yeah, that's gonna happen on a stovepipe. You go diving into it, yes, it's gonna fall apart. So don't do that. So there it is. That's how I do it. Consult a professional. There are lots of videos on how to do this. If you're not sure, if you're not capable, if you don't have the tools or the environment or anything, if you have respiratory problems, please wear respiratory protection. That's how I do it. I've been doing it this way for years. So far it's worked. We got a whole lot of things to do out here in this world. So let's do it. Let's take care of each other while we're doing it. Let's teach each other along the way. Let's go out and have fun while we're doing it. I'm going to let y'all in on something. Can I talk to you for just a second? I'm going to talk to you just a second, okay? Just a second, won't take long. As y'all see, I'm a bigger guy. I'm not scared of no groceries. I'll eat some food now. I didn't get this way by what somebody else did to me. I didn't get this way by somebody else not doing something to me. This is me. I own it. I did it. I got to have it. This is me. So coming up, I'm going to do some things a little bit different. Y'all want to see some cooking stuff that we did? You know, we cooked up a rabbit. One of the rabbits we butchered. Oh, Miss R7, she cooked it up. I'm telling you, ooh, man, it's, in the words of the Jerry Clower, whoo-wee, it's going to be some kind of good. That's good stuff. She cooked it up and she breaded it, not with flour. She cooked it up and it's going to be healthy for us. Okay, rabbit is really healthy meat anyway. Okay, I'm going to start eating healthy, but we're going to cover that. Something coming up. Y'all want to see some cooking videos, some stuff we take off the farm, we actually cook it up? Let me know in the comments. Let me know, hey, I'd like to see some stuff like that. Hey, how do y'all do this? How do y'all do that? Maybe we don't do it. Maybe you can teach us some things. That's awesome. Let's do that. Hey, y'all take care of each other. Do something good for somebody. Remember, spread the word of Jesus Christ. If you're not familiar with Jesus Christ, please get a hold of me. Okay, please get a hold of me. Tell me in the comments how I can get a hold of you so I can share the gospel of Jesus Christ with you and what he's done in my life, because it's been awesome. It's been an awesome ride. Awesome. So, hey, you know what? Jesus loves you. We love you. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.